Hey everyone, I thought I'd give my thoughts on the recent main event that just happened for the UFC in, I believe, Louisville, Kentucky, between top 10 middleweights, Jared Cannonier and Nassourdine Imavov, which sadly ended not how I think either of them would have wanted, even though I know Nassourdine Imavov has said he was fine with the stoppage, which Jared Cannonier would have said the same thing as well, given if it was switched around. But obviously, I deep down think neither of them wanted to end like that. Both of them would have wanted a precise moment of like, everybody knows, like, yeah, no, he clearly beat him in that situation. But sadly now, thanks to, I believe, Jason Herzog's his name, which not very many mistakes like this from him. I can't really tell you any of it. So, just probably one of those really bad moments of that just happened. Like, how many times happened by Herb Dean, Mark Goddard. But, just doesn't happen a lot with Jason Herzog. But this is sadly one of those times. And it was a pretty pivotal moment going on that, yes, maybe Nassourdine Imavov could have finished him in there. And I think he was leading towards that. But in the same vein of that, Marvin Vettori also rocked Jared Cannonier. And then look at how the rest of that fight went. Absolute brutality, domination. So to start it off with, obviously, if you don't know, there had been 3 rounds already, now in the 4th round. I personally had it 2-1 Nassourdine Imavov. I believe on the judges' scorecards they gave it was 2-1 to Jared Cannonier, which fuels the flames even more, but I do disagree with that, and obviously we'll get through that. But now they're in the 4th round. Nassourdine Imavov is starting to kind of get somewhere with, like, striking-wise in terms of, like, actually doing some damage, as he kind of he stuns and rocks Jared Cannonier. Jared Cannonier kind of, like, wobbles around a bit, but then he recovers again, and they start connecting again. Jared Cannonier lands some good shots on Nassourdine Imavov. Nassourdine Imavov then lands another strike on him, wobbling him again. But Nassourdine Imavov then follows up, striking him, hitting him, and then all of a sudden Jason Herzog's like, all right, we're in now here. He's 2 damage. He got rocked twice, wobbled twice. It's not like this dude is not a title challenger that's on a 2-fight win streak, 40 years old, and like this is probably his last chance to actually get back to the title. Just very weird stoppage. Very weird. I just don't get it. And I know one of the arguments, and I'm someone who picked Nassourdine Imavov to win the fight. If you check my Instagram, I give predictions every card for UFC, sometimes Bellator events, sometimes PFL, but always every UFC event, I give my predictions. And I predicted Nassourdine Imavov to win the fight, but it just sucks because I think he was going to eventually either finish him or just continue to outstrike him with doing damaging shots and win the next 2 rounds, even if it was 2-1 previously. And now that I think about it as well, there's now a similar moment where basically a finish has been taken from Nassourdine Imavov, as in the previous fight against, I believe it was Roman Dolidze. I don't remember what exactly happened, but he throws like a strike thing that the ref took a point away from him, calling it illegal, which in that state it was not an illegal strike, and honestly probably would have led to a finish because Roman Dolidze was pretty far gone in that, and it ends up leading this to becoming I believe a split or a majority decision, which it should not have been. But that's now twice in a row, because now, even though it is on his record a finish, no one is going to believe it as, which I don't think anyone should view it as that. But that's stupid, and that should not be on him, because anyone who's now, like, insulting Nassourdine Imavov, because I've seen people go on, like, his Instagram about it, and I'm like, he didn't choose this to happen, and it's just so annoying. But it just sucks, because I don't know what Jared Cannonier does now, because this affects him. He lost. I mean, quotation marks, obviously, and whether or not someone thinks that it was fair or not, it still will be a loss on his record. That's half his paycheck. He's 40 years old now, and if he would have won that fight, I can't really see you arguing him not getting a title shot. Not because I think Nassourdine Imavov was this, like, top 5 guy, but because 2-fight win streak, and even whether or not you agree with the decision, because I do think Sean Strickland did beat Jared Cannonier, but it was incredibly close. And if you say Jared Cannonier won, I'm not going to argue with you, because it's that close of a fight. But that's a win over former champion Sean Strickland, win over Marvin Vettori, top 10 guy, always in there. broke striking records on Marvin Torres' face, and then would now be a win against another top 10 guy who was had at least had a win, I believe. I think no, because he had it was one fight win streak because he had a no contest with I don't remember. What's his fucking? I don't remember who it was, but no contest. I think it was a head clash of that. It just sucked for that, but he had a win against. I believe Roman Dolidze was top 10. I don't remember if he top 10 or just out of it. He might have been number 11. So it would have been a good win if he got it, but he also just now I can't see him putting together a win streak to get to a title shot, because it's not like the UFC really would want this guy to get in a title shot. He's, no offense, very boring when it comes to personality-wise. Him versus Israel Adesanya was incredibly boring, whether or not you blame Israel Adesanya for it, which you can. It also did not sell well despite it being International Fight Week and stacked. So I don't really think they wanted that, and obviously they want to get into that French market, so UFC's probably going to be happy with this. They're probably going to push Nassourdine Imavov even more after this. But it does just suck, but I'm trying to think where they go from here. I could see Jared Cannonier, if he really wants to try and get into a position to possibly get one more win and then a title shot, or just in good position, he could fight Brendan Allen, who needs an opponent. I know he beat I'm forgetting his name now again. It's the same dude that Nassourdine Imavov beat. I'm literally blanking on it. It's the action man. I know he trains with Sean Strickland. I can just not think of his name right now, which is really annoying to me, and it's going to make me sound like a casual. Fucking God. I can't even remember his name thinking, but I just know he, whines a lot of it. Is a really simple fighter, but even though Brendan Allen versus that guy was very close, he is still on, I believe, the second. He's either on, I think he has the longest active win streak and does need an opponent. So I'd say either give him Jared Cannonier, which would be a good win to get him there, or you could give him Nassourdine Imavov. Honestly, now I think about it, Nassourdine Imavov versus Brendan Allen. I know Brendan Allen at one point called out Jared Cannonier. That didn't work out, but that's what I think you do there. And then for Jared Cannonier, since he isn't necessarily injured, I don't think, and damage-wise, other than getting run a couple times, he might need a little bit off. Jack Hermanson needs a fight, and I know people are going to say, well, Jack Hermanson had his time come up to recover from his fight, which was, I believe, February or January, so he should have enough time. But I also want to realize Jack Hermanson does not fight that often, so I think he's fine waiting a bit longer for a step up in the rankings. Could do that. There's just a lot you could do right now. I'm trying to think of it. You could just give it to someone. You could give Jared Cannonier, Anthony Hernandez, because Anthony Hernandez should be getting a higher-ranked opponent. He's put on a win streak. Not a lot of people want to fight him. He's the dark horse of the division, as everyone says. So that's just really what I think you could do there. It's probably a lot of it, just unfortunate circumstances. It's just not what you wanted to see, but that's just how it is sometimes, which does suck, and it happens few and far between for Jason Herzog, and that's really it. That's about it. Bye.